Hey everybody, welcome to Here's Out. I'm Patrick.
And I'm Paul.
And we're going to talk about star power. Are movie stars even a thing anymore?
We do videos every week, so if you like our stuff, go check out our other videos. Like, subscribe, ring that notification bell. Why don't you comment down below some of your favourite moments and which goes, yeah.
Housekeeping complete. So, on with the show. And that's talking about movie stars, Paul.
Yeah, give us a little bit of explanation about what this is about.
Oh, shit, okay. It's a video on...
It's a video on YouTube with two people who like entertainment.
In the history of time, movie stars, in the history of movies, in the history of time, back in caveman walls.
History of time.
Yeah, we're going to go
back
way
when God
back.
made the earth, he first made Adam, and Adam was the lead character.
Yeah, and then the supporting cast showed up. Now you've got
controversial.
I've just worked it out. I did not mean that. No. Damn it. I hate you sometimes.
This
is making it into the edit.
Slow down the video and see the exact moment that
he realizes. Yeah, I'm glad I realized this time.
You meant the animals.
Yeah, shut up. Okay, getting over the Eve part. Yes, I recognize her as an important part of the story that I don't even believe in, so okay.
I said Adam was the lead character.
Actually, yeah, you're getting away with that. So we were going to do an episode about something else before that just happened, and that something else was back in the good old days, in the classic days of cinema, you had films released that were basically star vehicles. Now, what's seen as a star vehicle now is different because you have your, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, and they make a film that is a Dwayne The Rock Johnson film to be a vehicle for him. But back in the day, that would have been a slightly different thing, that these stars were the star. You went to see the Cary Grant picture or the, Clark Gable movie, whatever it might be, the Betty Davis, the whomever, the Marilyn Monroe movie.
Yeah.
Those were stars. And that carried all the way on. Really, and hit its peak kind of for me. I think, I'm sure there's somebody with all of the numbers on this, but I'm going to say around the 90s. The 90s is the first time it started to taper off, end of the 90s.
Yeah, I'd say so.
You had a long period where you could put one of maybe 10 people in a film. They were considered bankable stars, and a bankable star is just somebody that if you get this star, you will get a certain amount of people into the cinema going, I'm going to see the new Tom Cruise movie.
Yeah.
Not, I'm going to see Top Gun. I'm going to see the new Tom Cruise movie. So that's what this episode's about. Does that exist anymore? Are those bankable stars still a thing?
Yeah.
Is it how the movie industry even works anymore?
Yeah,
I have my feelings on that.
Yeah, because that's the other thing. With us kind of like, we have a film with Tom Cruise in it. It's like... A lot of the time it was, I'm going to go see Tom Cruise in this movie rather than I'm going to go see this movie. In the background, there's a lot of movies that can't be made unless a star signs up to them. Like as in a studio will not start filming or anything like that, or even accept that the film could be made until like the production crew have been able to sign up a big star. So like Oblivion probably didn't get the green light until Tom Cruise signed up onto it. You probably with Matt Damon, I would say.
It's the movie making Holy Trinity as well. Though
kind of like
they've always said you can get a movie made if you have one or two of these three things. You can have a great script, a named director, or a named star.
Yeah.
And the reason they're saying get it made, it's not about getting people into the cinema even at that point. It's the financing.
Yeah.
It's basically sorting out your financing. Will you get enough money to get this thing made? Will you get people on board? That's why if you can get a Scorsese, then you don't necessarily need a Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
If you get a Tom Cruise, you don't necessarily need a Christopher Nolan.
Yeah.
If you have a big enough on one of those three things, then you're getting there to getting the financing and getting a green light, because remember, you need financing and global distribution and all of that good stuff before anybody ever sits down in a cinema to see it.
So like, has that changed in a kind of way that like we don't need...
I don't think that's changed.
Yeah, see, that's the thing.
That one I don't think has changed. Getting a movie made hasn't changed.
No, I don't think the attitude of you get Tom Cruise and you get Christopher Nolan into a movie, then you're going to have a fantastic thing. If you get Brad Pitt and which goes an amazing script, you're going to get this kind of thing, You're going
to get money. I still think the money thing hasn't changed. So that side of star power, I think, hasn't gone away.
Okay.
What do you think? Do you think that's changed?
I think it has an element. I think now it's script
Okay.
more. I think nowadays script is becoming more and more.
You think it's able to get financing on
a little bit more?
That would be a good development.
Now, mostly because I believe that a lot of the really good scripts that probably are backed by fairly well-known kind of production house side of people kind of thing. So I do think that there's still an element there, but I think it's the star power one I think is lessened.
You're probably right.
Kind of thing. But it hasn't gone away in any sense.
I think, well, obviously there's always been financing for films that don't have a big star, a big director, or sometimes even a good script. Quite often, though, they're genre movies, or they are surfing a trend.
Where the copyright is coming up and they need to make it. That's a lot. That happens a lot as well.
So you have studios taking a punt, taking a shot at films based on, well, what's hot right now is sports movies, and we have the sports movie script. We've got a top of the B-list actor that we can get signed up. We've got an up and coming director. We're going to do it because it's what's hot right now. And I think what's hot right now is superhero movies, for lack of a better term. But nobody's just throwing their hat in the ring because it's gone to such the next level that you don't just make a half-hearted superhero movie because you get crucified, you get killed.
I think the star power element in superhero films has ramped up a little bit.
I'd actually say that it's almost flipped on its head. That because what we're really supposed to be talking about, I guess, is whether or not it gets bums on seats, whether or not it gets people in an opening night. I would suggest the one thing that has flipped over is that now if you're in a superhero movie as part of, let's say, the MCU, you can not be a star, but by the end of that opening night, or by being attached to that franchise, you are a star.
Yeah.
Chris Pratt, Gal Gadot, Chris Evans to a certain extent. A lot of people have been made stars. Benedict Cumberbatch was a star, but not the same way he was a star after Doctor Strange.
Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah. Even, Dave Bautista. He's not even the solo star of a movie. Robert Downey Jr. was a star, wasn't a star, was famous, blah, blah. Robert Downey Jr. is too complicated a story to even bring into this.
He's a little bit more of a kind of nuance, because Scarlett Johansson was a well-known kind of actress, but she came into it. Mark Ruffalo was kind of well-known. But you have the elements of kind of leading people that have been founded or catalyzed from the superhero films.
And arguably the biggest star to lead an MCU movie was actually Ed Norton, when you consider where they were in their career path. And didn't that go the other way around?
Yeah, that's very true.
So you've got that kind of weird dynamic that they're now star makers rather than using stars to break the movie.
Yeah, which is, as I said, a lot different. So I get the question is essentially, what is a star being in a film one of the sole reasons that you'll go see it? That's kind of where we're going to go with this.
Yeah,
I would say, to my knowledge, no. As in, I will go see, actors and directors will pique my interest, but it will also be it's mostly if a story looks interesting or piques my interest kind of more.
I will agree with that, but I will add one addendum. And it's not really their star power, it's more a level of trust. There are some actors that I now go, and we've talked about this. Joaquin Phoenix is nothing to do with the Joker. Before the Joker, Joaquin Phoenix tends not to attach himself to things that I'm not going to end up finding have artistic merit.
Yeah.
He tends to do good films. He tends to do at least something with some artistic merit, even the bad films. There are certain actors and actresses that I won't go just because they're in it, but once I see they're in it, I'm like, I have a little bit more trust that this might be good.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't say that they get me into the cinema, but they're definitely the ones that make me think, oh, that trailer, I don't know about it, but they're in it, so you know what, I'm going to give this a chance. They're like a deal breaker.
Okay.
If I'm half interested in something and people I trust who only ever seem to do good movies, I'm like, yeah, great.
Okay. Yeah, see, I don't... Yeah, I guess I don't have that trust moment in the kind of... I guess directors would do that more for me.
Yeah, like a Chris Nolan film, you're going to go and see a Chris Nolan film. So that's star power for directors, I guess.
Yeah, I think that would be more kind of my way, but it is still in linked with, because they're still celebrities.
But and again, it's not just us. Look at the world. Robert Downey Jr., one of the biggest stars in the world, paid ungodly amount, was 75 million or something for Endgame. Just he's incredibly huge on the worldwide stage. Since his second flush of fame, or whatever you want to call this, since Iron Man, he's done The Judge, was in that period.
Yeah.
Did not blow box office records away. And then straight out of the biggest of the MCU films, he did Dolittle.
Oh, yeah.
Which has tanked as well.
Yeah, it's been deemed as one of the worst films ever made.
So he's a massive star, but he's not pulling people in the door. Same thing with Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt and Jennifer Lawrence were huge when Passengers came out.
Yeah.
They were two of the biggest stars in the world when Passengers came out. There's a whole other thing to be talked about, and we better come back to it in a second, about pay based on what your perceived bankability is. But that film didn't light up the box office charts either.
No.
So the formula breaks down. If it really is star power, it's not about how famous you are, it's about how bankable you are. Tom Hanks is bankable.
Yes.
It would appear that Jennifer Lawrence and Chris Pratt are not.
Yeah.
Even though one of them was paid more, and that's Chris Pratt was paid more than Jennifer Lawrence, quite famously at the time.
Yeah.
And it was considered that he would put more bums on seats just naturally. I don't believe that, to be honest. I think that was a bit of BS at the time too.
I think it was just off the back of probably
the Guardians
thing and the Marvel kind of universe.
Yeah,
whereas I think I can't, off the life of me, remember exactly what Jennifer Lawrence came off.
Just previous to that, it would have been after Hunger Games, and she would have done one of the X-Men at that stage.
Would it also have been one of the...
Would have been after First Class, I think.
Would it also been after
But she'd done Cold Mountain and stuff. Like, she'd already had her awards. Like, she came out of the gate kind of pretty hot.
That's the thing that I'm kind of thinking. But anyway,
sorry. That was a side tangent. So
no, it's also fair kind of like comments on the fact that, you know, these are actors who are valued. As in, there's a value put in towards them, and the value is like not just how good they are as an actor, not how many how many Oscars they've won or anything like that. It's a value calculated in the fact that, like, we need a leading man and we need a leading lady, and they need to fit into these profiles so that we can get this amount of people. So it's a big calculation kind of thing. So it's a little bit kind of weird.
You've also got global bankability, because some people are more popular in other jurisdictions than the one you're currently sitting in, wherever you might be in the world. So some stars travel better, and that can help with a movie they will think will work, make half of its money back overseas. They might cast slightly towards that just on somebody's popularity. Tom Hanks is a great example, and Tom Cruise. Let's take the two Toms. Yeah. Tom Hanks, I think, I was talking about you trust people because they tend to make good films.
Yeah. Tom
Hanks is still very bankable as far as Hollywood's concerned. He doesn't tend to have bad movie openings, as in they make money in their first weekend. And it's because, like, name a bad Tom Hanks movie in the last 20 years. Like a truly bad one.
The Mummy?
Tom Hanks, not Tom Cruise.
Oh, Tom Hanks.
Tom Hanks, like he's been pretty, he tends to get to work with good people. He tends to have a pick of projects, so he tends not to end up in bad things.
Yeah, that's true.
Hence, having his name on a billboard. Like, hey,
that's true.
Tom Cruise, you can't say the same thing for. And what you just pointed out, The Mummy was supposed to be the launch of the Universal Dark Universe from Universal Dark, whatever.
Yeah.
And it tanked hard.
Yeah.
And apparently, because of Tom Cruise's star power, he was, making all sorts of demands as to how the story would be. So there's a double backfire, because Tom Cruise isn't as bankable as Tom Hanks, because you can probably name 2 or 3 bad Tom Cruise movies in the last 20 years.
So here's the thing that I just realized.
Yeah.
Is there a correlation between star power and gender? Because we're talking a lot of male. A lot
of Toms. We just talked about a lot of Toms.
Well, we're also talking about Chris Pratt and stuff.
There's a lot of Chris's too, because you got Chris Hemsworth, Chris Pratt.
So, like, is there, like, because Charlize Theron, she's on my list. She's on my, if she's in it, I'll kind of trust her. She's one of the kingmakers for the film for you.
I recently watched her election thing with Seth Rogen, and it actually was really good. It's a film that's flopped, where she's a presidential hopeful.
Oh, okay.
Watch it, folks. again, I only watched it because she was in it, and I thought, you know what, she tends not to do really bad things.
Yeah.
There you go. It was actually quite good for what it was.
She's a good bankable character or actress. I'm just trying to think of some, like, because Amy Poehler's quite good as well.
Oh yeah,
like because she was in Arrival and stuff like that. And
you're thinking Amy Adams.
Amy Adams.
Yeah. Well, I was thinking Amy Poehler because anything she does is funny.
Amy Poehler's quite
Adams,
good. Yeah. Sorry.
Who just crossed my mind? Because back in the day, obviously a bankable star, when we were talking about the 90s, it wasn't all men, it wasn't all Mel Gibson. You had Julia Roberts and people like that who were huge.
Yeah, you'd have Julia Roberts, you had, like, you know, Anne Hathaway, because you had Helen Mirren for certain films.
Yeah, well, Helen Mirren still, and again though, then there's people I trust will give a good performance. Like Janelle Monáe, if she's in a film, I want to watch the bit that she's in because she's always great. Same thing with why has her name escaped me?
Character name? Name her in a movie.
Okay, recently in Zombieland 2 driving a monster truck.
Is she, which is
I've mentioned her about 5,000 times on this channel. No.
Oh, is she the one from Daredevil? Is she not the nurse from Daredevil?
Oh, yes. Yeah, sorry, I went back to the Ben Affleck Daredevil there. Yes, thank you. Night Nurse. You better say something because this doesn't make good YouTube. You trying to remember a name.
Well, that's Patrick kind of thing. The reason I only bring up the gender thing is just because is it also pre-programmed for certain gender types that like would it be that male viewers would want to see like certain action stars to also certain beautiful women, and would it also be that women would also want to which could see, you know, gorgeous men to
the Johnny Depp effect,
yeah, kind of thing, and like, you know, because that always comes into effect as well, and everybody in between as well, because like, you know, everybody has their types, so it's kind of like, is it also the attraction kind of level to it? Is it, because I would say wrongly as well that I would say that the industry might put more emphasis on male stars.
I think if I hold up my little scrap of notes, you'll see the word sexist written here.
Oh,
yeah. One of my notes was.
Oh, yeah, but
you organically got there, yeah. But it's like, is there a natural sexism to all this? I think there probably is.
I do as well, which I think is wrong, simply because there is like, and it's not like I think it's wrong because of equality and all that kind of stuff.
But it's also like, just, I don't think there's any good basis for it.
Yeah, like there's like as many male actors that I think are great. There's definitely counterparts in the female kind of like.
Well, like if we want to go back in time and people have said, oh, well, you know, would you go and see a film? You know, there's nobody I can identify with in this. I'm like, well, when I was a kid, I identified with Ellen Ripley. More than anybody else. I was like, she was my action hero, and it's because of how well the film was made. And Sigourney Weaver, consequently, I saw there's their star power. I think I've seen every Sigourney Weaver film in the history of time because Sigourney Weaver was, you know, one of my childhood heroes. So I don't think people will go, well, you know, if you have an all-female cast, you won't get people to come out and see it. There's some empirical evidence to say that, but I think it's usually because the films have either been marketed arseways, people have mentioned the fact that it's all-female. I think if you made it an all-female, female-led film and didn't mention it, it might do better because not as many people would notice.
Like, my thing is more just, I think that the hard rap for the kind of franchise of not franchise but the grouping of all female kind of lead casts and stuff, there's been 3, like the Ghostbusters, the 2016 Ghostbusters was seen in a bad light.
Yeah,
like you're focusing on the wrong side of that. For the people who were just like, oh, it's because of the all female cast, you're focusing on the wrong thing. That was a bad script. What's good? The Charlie's Angels reboot,
which I haven't seen, but apparently is okay.
It's also like I've also heard that it had a terrible box office, and like, but it's. For that, to me, it's no one asked for a remake of Charlie's Angels.
Yeah, that was just like, somebody making something that nobody wanted.
That was either a copyright was coming under a like thing, or like, you know, someone really pushed hard to get that through, but no one asked for a Charlie's Angels, and it's not because no one wants to see an all-female cast.
Yeah,
it's just that we've had bad strings of bad scripts going alongside with, because we've got the Harley Quinn movie, and that's an all-female cast, and supposedly the script is also being which was compared with the Suicide Squad, which wasn't also a great script.
No,
and that had like, you know, an all mixed cast as well.
Yeah.
I think people are focusing on the sexism of films with all female casts in the wrong light, and the fact that it's probably that it's just like the scripts tend to be not that strong. And you know me, I'm a writer. I will fight to the end of the writers kind of like, you know, table, but I have to agree, they're not strong scripts.
No, but that's your point, I think, though, is that the part that's sexist about all this isn't that there's anything wrong with the gender of the cast of the movie. There's something fundamentally wrong with the movie in almost all of these cases, and either it's a movie that's not right for the moment that it's coming out in. Nobody's really looking for another Charlie's Angels right now. Ghostbusters in 2016 just was not a great movie. It had a great cast, by the way. It's weird that people picked on the cast, because that for me is one of my dream casts. I'd some of Saturday Night Live's best. I'm Melissa McCarthy, so I do get what you're saying. But I guess the thing back to the star power, I think there is a huge amount of sexism still in that people will go, oh yeah, but you know, The Rock, he can appeal to both sexes. And what I think is actually sexist is that attitude. Yeah. And I think it's sexist in both directions. Literally. That people will say to me, oh yeah, but you know, you've got to go and see a male superhero. I went to see the latest Terminator. Simply the second I heard that Linda Hamilton was back, I'm like, I'm going to see that. Yeah. Because she is the boss. And I am all over it.
Yeah.
You know, there's an intrinsic sexism, and I'm not saying which side it comes down on, because it comes down on both and is applied in all sorts of arse ways. When it comes to star power, I think it's just bull crap. Complete bull crap.
Which is, like it's a kind of a weird thing to have.
Yeah.
And like, there's a level in which the movie industry definitely does put that emphasis there.
Yeah, and to bring it back round to the central premise of the topic, I think star power does still exist in one very specific way. I still think that you can get people out to a movie because of who's in it, if it's a them kind of movie. If you put The Rock in a Rock type of movie, people will go, it's The Rock, and they'll recognize that, it's that. I know what it's going to be, and I'm going to like it.
Yeah.
And I think Jim Carrey and Sonic are showing that.
Yeah, that's very true.
I'm dying to see it, and people are like, that's my Jim Carrey movie. Now, for me, my Jim Carrey movies are Truman Show and Spotless Mind and all sorts of other good stuff. But for all of us, there's two Jim Carreys.
Yeah.
So there's the Ace Ventura to Sonic, and then there's the Truman Show to you know, all the other good stuff. I think if you put people in what people expect them, all of a sudden they're a star again.
Yeah.
And I think
the point.
Tom Cruise in Top Gun 2 is possibly going to prove that, or massively disprove that, but probably for a different reason.
Yeah.
That people are just going to be over nostalgia. I'm waiting for the nostalgia bubble to burst hard, people. Yeah. Whole other episode coming from us on the nostalgia bubble when it bursts.
Yeah. Because there's a lot of that kind of like, we'll bring this film back because everybody loves this back in the 90s or back in the day and stuff, and now pop goes. Yeah, sorry I went on the kind of tangent. It's just the more that I think about it and stuff like that, it just seems weird that like there is that kind of weird divide there, and it is a money man calculation thing rather than a lot of audiences, because like there's plenty of just great. But I think your point of when you put like Tom Cruise in like Edge of Tomorrow or Top Gun or Mission Impossible, and then you put Tom Hanks in a Mr. Robinson film, it's kind of like it's going to drag you out.
And that's it. And the weird look on my face is still literally my favorite actress's name is like, my head has screamed about 47,000. It even screamed Rosamund Pike because she's my second favorite. But yeah, no, that name still has not come back to me. I think it's likely, I don't know who's doing this edit, but hopefully their face will be on here, and I really want to apologize and go, look at our old videos. How many times I've mentioned, oh my God, I hate it. Because my brain just went, I was saying Rosario Dawson the entire time, Patrick. Yes, Rosario Dawson is awesome. If she's in it, watch it, because even if it's bad, she's great.
Except for Alexander the Great.
Nothing could.
Sorry, it's not even her. It's just that film is dreadful.
Yeah.
Colin Farrell's Irish accent for, I don't know. It's just...
I don't think we should even open up that can of putrefied whatever.
So, last closing parts. Do you think that still star power is still a thing in the background thing?
Yes.
Do you think it is in the foreground thing?
Only when it's in a genre aligned to that star.
Okay. I would agree with the background thing. I would agree that it's considerably lessened in the foreground thing now.
Yeah.
I think people are more looking towards better storylines and stuff like that.
Then my one question back to Paul is, do you agree that stars can be made by the franchise of the moment?
Yeah, no, definitely. I do definitely think, because Brie
Larson.
Yeah, I didn't know her that well. And then I saw her in Captain Marvel, and now all I want to do is just consume every single movie that she's in. Because
she was an Oscar winner at that point that people had forgotten. So that says an awful lot. And that's, there you go.
And more says about me than
no, because most of the world hadn't, and it's because Oscars don't make stars, and that's our point.
Yeah,
big films make big stars. So, So on that, I think we should throw it over to you to say if you believe that would a star's name attached to something bring you out? Were you over it 20 years ago like most of the rest of the people? Let us know in the comments down below. Like, share, subscribe, tell your friends, and come along and see us in our next video. And if there isn't a next video yet, get down there to our video library and watch all our old stuff.
Yep. So, I've been Paul.
I've been Patrick.
And we've been Hear Us Out.
See you next time.
Bye.
Thanks, Rosario Dawson. You're amazing and I'm an idiot. God, that nearly killed me. I swear to God, the number of names my head was shouting.